Hi there, this is Jamie from Zero-G, and today I'm very excited to be able to show you our newest sound library, Psychoacoustics. The library was created in collaboration with composer and sound designer Cybeg and instrument maker and sound artist Sam Underwood. And the library is labelled as an electroacoustic designer, so it's very much focused around the perception of sound. The original raw audio was captured using a variety of acoustic and electroacoustic sources by Sam Underwood, and then processed and scripted into Native Instruments' Kontakt sampler. And the result is this large library of unique and experimental sounds that cover a huge amount of timbres, and they're all customizable within this user-friendly Kontakt interface here, which we'll be taking a look at in a minute. It's important to note that this library features Kontakt files, which means it will require the full paid-for version of Kontakt, and it won't work in the free Kontakt player. Now, before we take a look at the interface, let's have a listen to what's on offer. So as you can hear, there's a really nice blend of static textures, percussive instruments, strange effects, and processed acoustic instruments. And if I just dive into the interface now, we can take a look at how these are categorized. So over here in the Kontakt Files tab, you can see there are 7 main instrument folders, and then within some of these, for example in the short instruments, there's divided into subcategories. So here we've got bowed tones, wind instruments, keys, etc. And then finally within these folders you can find the Kontakt instruments, and then you just simply drag and drop these into the main Kontakt window. Now, something I was doing with some of those audio demos you just heard was I was opening up a few different instances of Kontakt and just layering the sounds. And because there's such a variety of instruments, I was just playing in some of these tempo sync loops, recording some ambiences in, and you can very quickly build up the starting blocks of a track. In total there are just over 200 presets, so lots to experiment with. Moving on to the main GUI, Psychoacoustics features a dual channel interface, which means you have the option of selecting 2 sample sources, processing them individually, and then there are some global controls at the bottom here. So I'll just run through these parameters from top to bottom. So we have the sample select, so as you can see there's all the sources here, there's hundreds to choose from. Then we have volume, panning, tune, sample start, a drive amount which you can choose to activate before or after the filter. This is the filter section here, so you can choose between 17 different filter types, and this is the ADSR for the filter, and the amount of that can be controlled with the envelope dial here. Then obviously we have cutoff, resonance, and keyboard tracking, and then finally there are delay and reverb sends for each channel. So these effects here, you can control them individually for each channel, which is nice. And then the velocity to cutoff amount and velocity to amplitude amount, which is dependent on the velocities you're playing on your keyboard. In terms of global controls, we have a randomize function, which keeps all your current controls in each channel but changes the sample source, so that's a good way to get easy inspiration. This big slider here is a volume balance between the channels. That's just a quick way to hear and process individual layers. The global LFO section is a lot of fun, and it features 4 LFOs for pitch, volume, panning, and filter, and all of these can run at the same time, and for each one you can choose between 4 different waveforms. So we've got sine, sawtooth, square, and triangle, and then for each of those we can control the rate, the amount, and the fade time. And the rate and the fade time can also be tempo synced just by clicking the individual buttons here. Finally, there is a global AHDSR for the amplitude, and along the bottom you can have up to 5 different effects going at the same time. So we have reverb and delay on the right, and then with these 3 you can choose between 14 different effects. So what I'm going to do now is show you how easy it is to start with just a couple of sample sources and then process them with all these parameters on offer so you can see it in action. And I've already played in some percussive material, and I'm just going to be playing over some live textures and manipulating them live as well. And so everything you hear now is all psychoacoustics. I hope that's given you a deeper insight into Zero-Gs Psychoacoustics. As you can see, it's a very flexible library, and I think the nature of the original sound sources combined with this hands-on approach to processing make it very unique, and there aren't really many limitations to where you could use it, whether it's media composition, sound design, dance music, etc. I'd highly recommend it to everyone who's looking for something a bit different. Just to mention again, this library features Kontakt files, so will require the full version of Kontakt 5.8 or higher to work, and won't run in the free Kontakt player. For more information on psychoacoustics, visit www.zero-g.co.uk. Thanks for watching.